Okay guys, so first thing that I want you to do is pause the screen and take down these notes so that once you've got them taken down you can actually listen to me talking through it. Alright? So the chapter that we're doing today is factorising quadratics. So first of all, you've never come across the word quadratic. A quadratic is three terms beside each other. One is an x squared, one is an x, and one is a number. Right? So for example, 3x squared plus 5x take away 4 would be a quadratic. Right? The aim of this is to factorise the quadratic into two brackets, just like we've been doing before, where we're factorising factorising four terms, all right, or factorising groups of terms. So I'm going to talk through this, and it is going to sound complicated, all right. But once we get through a few examples, hopefully it will become clear, all right. If you're not sure on anything, comment on the group, and I can reply to you, all right. So step number 1. Multiply the numerical part of the x term by the number. So for example, if it was 3x squared plus 2x minus 4, you would do the 3 from the 3x squared and the minus 4. 3 times 4 is minus 12, right? So that's the number. Then you want to find two numbers which multiply together to give that number. So two numbers which multiply together to give you minus 12, but they also must add to give the numerical part of the x term, right? So two numbers which multiply together to give that first number that you found, but also add together to give the numerical part of the x term, right? So let's get some examples done. So your example is 2x squared plus 5x take away 12. Okay, so step number 1 was multiply together the numerical part of the x squared term, which is 2, by your number, which is minus 12. So 2 times minus 12 equals minus 24, right? Now, I want to find two numbers that multiply together to give minus 24 and add together to give 5, right? Now, if they multiply together to give a minus, and they add to give a positive, that means one number must be a negative and one number must be a positive. Yeah, because if you multiply two negative numbers together, you get a positive number. So one has to be negative, right? So I'm not sure, right? I don't know straight away, so I'm going to write those down, minus 24 and 5. Let's start on minus 1. Minus 1, to get to 5, I would need to add on 6. So minus 1 plus 6 would give me 5. But minus 1 multiplied by 6 does not give me minus 24. Let's try minus 2. Minus 2, I'd have to add on 7 to get to 5. So minus 2 times 7 gives me minus 14, which again is not minus 24. Let's try minus 3. Minus 3 plus 8 would get me to 5. Minus 3 times 8 is minus 24. So I found my two numbers. My two numbers are minus 3 and 8. Alright? Now, what do I do with those numbers? So, part 3 of your method. Split your x term up into two x terms using those two numbers, or using these two numbers. So, in this example here, I'm replacing my 5x with minus 3x plus 8x. So 2x squared minus 3x plus 8x take away 12, right? And now I factorise like normal. So I factorise my first two, and then my second two. 2x squared take away 3x. So the only thing I can take out of that is x. So x bracket 2x take away 3. And then factorising the second part, the only thing I can take out of that is a 4. So 4 bracket 2x take away 3, because 4 times 2x gives me 8x, 4 times minus 3 gives me minus 12. Yeah? Now, I want my 8x to be a positive, and I want my minus 12 to be a negative, so I'm going to make this a plus, because plus 4 times 2x gives me 8x, and plus 4 times minus 3 gives me minus 12. Alright? Now, what you should see is that this bracket here is the same as that bracket there. So just like we did in our previous topic, I'm finishing off by taking what's outside the bracket, my x and my plus 4, putting it in one bracket, and then putting my second bracket as what I already have. 2x minus 3. Now, once you're done, that's it. That is the answer. Okay, but if you're not sure, you can check if you're right. You can check if you're right by multiplying this out. Using FOIL first. X times 2x is 2x squared. Outer. X times minus 3 is minus 3x. Inner. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times minus 3 is minus 12. Simplifying that, I get 2x squared plus 5x minus 12, which is what I started with. So that is correct. Alright? So multiply it out using FOIL at the end to check that you're correct. Now, second example. And again, I'm going to do this one and follow this one through with me, and then I'm going to get you to try a couple yourselves. So, second example is 5x squared plus 13x plus 8. Alright, so first step, multiply my numerical term, the numerical part of my x squared term by my number. So 5 times 8 is 40. Right? So I need two numbers that multiply together to give 40 and add together to give 13. So let's think 8 and 5, isn't it? So I'm just going through those in my head. You're not going to get it straight away for most of the questions. You just have to think through it. But 8 and 5. 8 times 5 will give me 40. 8 plus 5 will give me 13. It might take a little bit of time, but take your time. Just go through numbers one by one. Start at 1, go up 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to then split this up into 5x squared plus 5x plus 8x plus 8. Now I factorise these two and these two. So I can take 5x out of both of these. So 5x bracket x plus 1. And I can take 8 out of both of those. So 8 bracket x plus 1. Again, I want my 8x to be positive, and I want my 8 to be positive, so I'm going to make this a plus. My two brackets are the same. So I take what's outside the two brackets, 5x plus 8. And my bracket that already exists, x plus 1. And that is my answer. If I multiply it out, 5x times x gives me 5x squared. 5x times 1 gives me 5x plus 8 times x, which is 8x. So 5x plus 8x gives me my 13x. And then 8 times 1 gives me my 8. So again, I've multiplied it out using FOIL, and I know that it's correct. Alright, so the next couple, what I want you to do is I'm going to write down the question, pause the screen, try it yourself, and then watch me going through it and see if you're right. Alright, so example number 3. 3x squared plus 11x plus 6. Okay, so pause the screen now and try it yourself. Multiplying together my numerical term, the numerical part of my x squared term by my number. 3 times 6 is 18. So 3 times 6 gives me 18. I need two numbers that multiply together to give 18 and add together to give 11. So let's see, 7 and 4 won't work. 8 and 3 won't work, 9 and 2. 9 and 2, because 9 plus 2 gives 11, 9 times 2 gives me 18. So my two numbers are 9 and 2. Alright? Splitting my x term up into these two parts. So 3x squared plus 9x plus 2x plus 6. Factorising. 3x can be taken out of both of these, so 3x bracket x plus 3. Plus, just 2 can get taken out of that, so 2 bracket x plus 3. I'm sorry, I put my plus in there because both of these are positive. My two brackets are the same, so I take what's outside my two brackets, put it in one bracket, 3x plus 2, close bracket, upon x plus 3. Alright, and again, if I multiplied that out, I would find that it gets me back to 3x squared plus 11x plus 6. Alright, one more. 5q squared minus 8q minus 4. So first of all, I know that I said at the start that it was going to be an x squared term, an x term. It doesn't matter what the letter is, so it's still exactly the same rules even though this is a q. So, pause it and try it yourself. Multiplying together my two terms, or the numerical part of my x q squared term by my number, 5 times minus 4 is minus 20, alright? So I need two numbers that add together to give minus 20, add together to give minus 8 and multiply together to give minus 20. So, straight away I'm thinking, right, I need my multiple needs to be negative, which again, back to the very first example, one number must be negative and one number must be positive, right? So, therefore, minus 5 and minus 3, for example, wouldn't work because minus 5 and minus 3 gives you minus 8, but would give you a plus 15, so we can't do that. So I'm going to start at minus 9. Minus 9 plus 1 would give me minus 8. But minus 9 multiplied by 1 would just give me minus 9. Let's go to minus 10. Minus 10 plus 2 would give me minus 8. Minus 10 times 2 gives me minus 20. So that's it. That's what I need. So I'm separating it out into 5q squared minus 10q plus 2q minus 4. And then I factorise. I can take out 5q. So 5q bracket q minus 2 plus 2 bracket q minus 2. Because 2 times q gives me 2q, 2 times minus 2 gives me minus 4. My two brackets are the same, so I take what's outside the bracket in my first two, or outside my two brackets, 5q plus 2, and put it upon q minus 2, which is already in my bracket. Alright, so that's factorising quadratics. So hopefully you've got the hang of that. If you're not sure, ask someone else in the class or come and find me in the hall at some stage. And what I want you to try during class tomorrow is page 102, exercise 4.3, questions 3 to 23, and do odd. Alright? Now, I'll take pictures of this on the classroom because I know that you don't have the book with you, so I'll take pictures of it and the solutions and make sure that you mark it as well. If you get finished early, start going through the even for extra practice because you'll always get one of these, at least one of them, in your GCSE. Alright? Hopefully that helps.